Hey everybody, good to see you all back again. First start attempt on the Farmall H tractor since rebuild. Exciting times, but my least favorite part of the job. 20 plus years as a mechanic, still my least favorite part of every job. Today we find out where we truly are on this. So progress since last time. I spent the first part of today finalizing all the wiring. The full harness is back in place, looking good. Generator in place. Belts are tight. We've got battery in the battery box hooked up, ready to go. We've got water. It's a bit dark in there, trust me, it's there. We have oil in the crankcase, oil in the air cleaner. We have hydraulic fluid in the belly pump. We've got gear oil on the back end, and I just finished polarizing the new voltage regulator. It's pretty simple. You take a jumper wire and you contact the bat terminal over to the gen terminal, hold 2 seconds. You should get a little bit of a spark, no smoke. Looks like we did it. So, we've got all 4 of the spark plugs pulled out. What I'm going to do with ignition off is just spin the engine over with no compression, try to circulate some oil, do a little bit of a pre-lube, then we'll pop plugs back in, see if we make noise. So let's get on it. Neutral out. Starter button is very touchy. I just let a little bit of pressure off of it and it was enough to break contact already. Needle just moved. I know we got pressure.
Now here comes a moment of truth.
Well, this isn't overconfidence. This is just in case we make smoke. I'm opening the door for ventilation.
Yep.
And it's probably going to be a bit loud because I'm leaving the muffler off, because if this does start, I don't trust myself to remember to pull it back off and not hit the door on the way out. So we'll just let it be loud if it wants. All right, should we try a choke or no choke? This is new valves. It's probably not going to pull fuel like it did last time.
Give it a little choke to start with.
The throttle, put where it used to be happy. And now we're on. So pop, pull off choke.
let that thing warm up for a little bit. Probably fine tune the timing with the lights yet, and carburetor definitely needs adjusting yet. I like to adjust the carburetor after it gets warmed up. Yeah, that quieted her down.
Just checking for leaks around the oil line, oil filter. A little bit right there. We'll address that later. Senior's gonna work his magic on it. He's the carburetor whisperer. That smoothed it out. All right, I think we've got our leak fixed at the back of the oil pressure gauge. Temp's coming up a little bit. I don't know if you can hear it. We got a rrr, 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 rrr. Pretty sure that's our constant mesh gears at the front of the transmission. Clutch pedal makes it go away. So once we start driving it and get it under load, this might still have a noisy back end. Remember, we've got a mismatched set of constant mesh gears at the front. It's the best we could do to try to quiet the old whine down. Still a good steady charge though on that gauge. Generator, regulator working just like they should. All right, we were hooking up with the timing light, and then we started hearing a little bit of a tick noise. So I shut it down, took a look, didn't find anything wrong. We're going to see if it's still there or not. If it is, we might pull the muffler and get it back in the shop.
Ready?
Yep. Yeah, hear it? Sounds like it's up high. Now I'm going to pull the muffler. Just went away. It just went away. I was gonna pull the muffler and it's not making a noise anymore.
Yeah, totally quiet.
I don't know what to think about that.
It's got to tick once in a while.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna pull the muffler and get it back to the shop.
Yep. Yeah, I think we're going to pull that cover off.
Yep. See where the valve flash is, start there.
Yep. Well, to me, it sounded like it's more of a tinny sound than a knock sound. I'm just kind of wondering if it isn't that vent tube that goes across the top.
Breather tube that goes over the top
Yeah.
of the rockers. Yeah.
And we got the breather tube, comes off the governor housing, goes into the head right back there, comes in, then there's a tube that comes all the way over
Feeds this little pipe back
and
here.
feeds this pipe back here, which comes into the air cleaner. So if that tube come loose and sitting there bouncing across on a tappet,
Or if somebody never tightened it.
yeah, or somebody never tightened it, that would never happen, would it?
get that out without having a detached wire harness. We'll see, it's going to be tight. Nope, I got some bracing to take out a little
Yeah, a few more things to take off before that comes off. Don't want to scratch or paint if we can help it.
Oh, it's already dinged.
Let's get the generator out of the way. Now, hopefully it's enough room.
Should be if I can clear out this way. Yep.
Oh, there we go. Well, I don't know, everything's looking tight in here to me.
Look at valve springs.
What's right here?
That's close.
See, we're down.
Look at valve springs, make sure none are cracked, broken. Yeah, breather's tight. Good clips on either end of our rocker shaft. Okay. Feed line's tight. None of the checking these jam nuts to see if any of those are noticeably loose. They're
No,
not.
we're really close, right on that too.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to roll the engine over and we'll see if it contacts it or not.
Yeah. Everything's oiling good. You can see where every one of them's got oil. It springs in here. Got a little bit on that, but I don't know.
I don't really like how that clicks. That's kind of the noise that we had. I'm watching this right now.
Yeah.
Turn this over. No, that's as high as it goes because we haven't started with the lobe lift yet.
Just a minute. See, we're tight. That thing don't loosen like there's gap in there at all. Put a feeler gauge in between there.
Oh no, I can see there's air. Or I
Can
mean,
you see it?
there's daylight coming through.
But we don't have any slack on that.
No.
Like it's up yet.
Well, let's make sure we're not just starting the lobe lift too.
There we go.
There now, yeah, I
Yep.
think we were just creeping up
Yep.
on the cam lobes that we were doing. We'll roll this down a
Okay,
bit.
just a minute.
Yep, we're back to lash again. So we know we're not touching. I've seen daylight.
Man, that is close though.
It's close, but I see
When
no.
that's going around, that could, I don't know, possible. We'll put things back together here real quick, enough to give her another test run, see if we can see or hear anything inside here.
You ready?
Ready?
I hear it a little bit, but it's not like it was before.
Kind of hold pressure on some of them.
You see oil coming up.
Oh yeah, the oil is good.
Don't change. That was my suspect one right there.
I don't see a screwdriver.
Holding it open a little bit. I think it kind of made it go away a little bit. It does. I think that's the one. Hit this one again. Noise goes away when you hold that. Well, I think we're zeroing in on it anyhow. Turn gas off. We'll let that carburetor run it out a little bit. All right, so Senior and I have been brainstorming here, and we had a rather horrifying thought, but we'll get to that in just a second. So this is an exhaust valve rocker that we're suspect, all right, because it goes exhaust, intake, intake, exhaust, exhaust, intake, intake, and finally exhaust. And I did have them put seats under all the exhaust valves in this head, and they even did some of the intakes too, I believe, because they were pretty hammered. Sometimes when we let this rebound, instead of that sharp tick, we get like a little bit of a thud. Do we have a valve seat insert that's loosened up in that hole? I'm not sure. I checked my valve lash. We're running perfect 17 on everything, which is where I set them initially. That's kind of where I am. You're kind of theorizing the same thing?
I think we got a seat come loose in the head.
So, well, first start, it started well. Transmission's still noisy. We need to figure out why that tick showed up. I'll pull rockers, we'll reassess, but it's starting to make more and more sense to me, in theory anyhow, how it started off quiet, and as soon as it felt a little bit of heat, all of a sudden it started making that noise, and then it went away a little bit, like possibly that insert may have decided to grab a little bit, and then it came back, and we'll just see what happens as we move forward. So do a little bit more investigating, probably some tearing apart, and when I know something else, you all will too. Thank you for watching, everybody.